Hi, good morning. Welcome to Business. My name is DANQUAH. The Registered Tenants Association of Acra Mall is expressing worry about the poor treatment by management, including inadequate compensation and exorbitant rent charges. They say that will collapse their business. The association is calling on government to come to its rescue. According to the president, Reverend John BAIDU DANQUAH, rent charges must be reduced with appropriate compensation as COVID-19 impacts negatively on their businesses.
In a press conference held at the forecourt of the Acra Mall, the president of the association, Reverend J.B. DANQUAH, called on management of the mall to reduce the excessive rent charges. He also appealed to government to come to their aid.
We cannot pay our bills. They charge us in dollars, and we are suffering. We are employing about close to 2,000 people, and all our staff are going to be going home if we are not helped in this regard. So we are petitioning the government to help us, to come to our aid. We pay in dollars whilst we sell in cedis, and I believe that is against the law. Our toilets are not fixed, and our landlords don't even hear us when we petition. When you petition them to come to your aid, that's when they send threatening messages to ask you to either pay or you exit. And that will not help the economy.
Mr. DANQUAH further indicated that the poor treatment by the management of the Acra Mall, including inadequate compensation, is negatively affecting their businesses. And if government does not come to their rescue, their businesses will go down the drain.
Now, it has really drained the businesses in the malls. Every shop is suffering. Every business, every, should I say, brand here is suffering because the rent is just too much. Okay, and so we are suffering here, and that's...
Tenants at the mall also could not hide their displeasure for what they described as unfair treatment meted out to them by management of the hall.
Customers come, they pay in cedis. Actually, we sell in cedis. So why do you want us to pay rent in dollars? Do you understand? So you increasing our rent too. We don't sell, especially during this COVID era. And you are increasing the rent monthly. How are we going to pay our rent?
The tenants are also calling for a reduction in rent charges with appropriate compensation as COVID-19 impacts negatively on their business. Reporting for Joy Business, Nicholas Brown.
And we are working to get your reaction from the management of the Acra Mall. To other news, work on megawatt peak, a 19.4 megawatt peak solar project at Kalio and Laura, both in the Upper West region, are ongoing steadily and expected to be completed before the end of the year. The projects, when completed, will generate enough energy to power some 32,000 households and increase the geographic spread of power generation in the country. Chief Executive Officer of the Volta River Authority, EMMANUEL, Antwi-DARKO, who disclosed this to the media after a tour of the project, said the Laura project will be completed before the end of October, whilst that of Kalio will be completed at the end of December 2020. Joining us is Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam has more.
President Akufo-Addo in February card sought for the construction of 17 megawatt peak solar projects at Kalio and Laura, both in the Upper West region. The two projects are being funded by the German Government Development Bank, KfW, at a cost of 22.8 million euros. Ever since the sword was cut, contractors working on the two projects, Elecno, have never looked back and has been working to ensure that they do not only meet the deadline but deliver quality work as well. Project manager of Volta River Authority, Engineer Isaac Badu, threw more light on the two solar projects.
Originally, we were doing 4 megawatts here in Laura and 13 megawatts in Kalio. Because of some improvements that we have come up with, the capacity here has increased at no additional cost. So from 4 megawatts, we are doing 6.5 megawatts here. So come end of this month of October, when we commission, we'll be commissioning 6.5 megawatts capacity.
The projects, when completed, will generate enough energy to power some 32,000 households and increase the geographic spread of power generation in the country. Chief Executive Officer of the Volta River Authority, Emmanuel ANTWI-DARKO, who told the sites to acquaint himself of the progress of work, was impressed of the work done so far.
My impression is that the project has been well executed from the design phase right up to construction. I think it's a good project. I see there's great attention to detail as far as the operational practices and the construction practices are concerned. So I think all in all, I think I'd give the contractor a lot of congratulations for doing a good job. But as I said, we have slipped, and it's through no fault of anyone. It's just the COVID pandemic that has caused the slippage.
He is hopeful that both projects will be completed before the end of the year 2020.
I have no doubt in my mind that we can hand over. I mean, they are looking at handing over in November. I think that from the little that I've seen and the initial briefing that they gave us, I think we can do a couple of weeks earlier. And so we are going to sit with them, we'll decide with them how we can be more aggressive with the timeline. And I'm hopeful that we'll be able to do the handover before November.
Though the two projects are yet to be completed, Managing Director of the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, NEDCO, Osman Alodiba Ayuba, is already upbeat and speaking about the benefit his output will derive from the peak solar projects.
And that's it for business. Sports is up next.